Hello and happy Monday. I hope you guys have had a great day. Welcome to another Created by Cassie video. I am Cassie with Created by Cassie, and I am so thankful that you are choosing to spend your time with me today. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to get in everybody's feeds since this is a live video. I hope you guys have had a great day so far. It has been pretty busy for me. We just had a really big storm and my power went out, but thankfully it came back so that I could go live. All right. So if this is your first time watching me, go ahead and put this emoji down in the comments. I would love to say hello and welcome you to the family. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you be part of our family and watch live every week. Also make sure that you like my videos and share if you do like them. And a special thing that I have going on, I am working on a YouTube goal for myself by my birthday, which is April 23rd, to hit 150 YouTube subscribers. I think I'm about 24, 25 away from hitting that goal, so would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. And the fun part, hey Jen, hey Kaz, how are you doing? Welcome to the family, first timer. So excited that you're here. A little bit about the YouTube goal. So if I hit the YouTube goal of 150 subscribers by my birthday on April 23rd, I will be doing a giveaway. And the giveaway is going to be a Created by Cassie box, kind of like this. It's going to have a bunch of stuff inside, some things that you can make, some cards, just some fun things. So help me make my goal so that one of you guys can get this box. I know that you'll love it. All right, and let's see. If you're not already subscribed to my email list, oh, I'm only 15 away. Oh, yay, Jen, thanks. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my email list. And I would love to send you a card in the mail. I have a section where you can put your address and your birth month and day. I do not share any information, but I love to send cards out. So I would love if you wanted to add that in. And then today's ordering special, you can get these projects for free. By doing a $45 order pre-shipping and tax in my online store. Anything over $50, I will send you a free gift with that. All right, let's get into it, guys. All right, so today's stamp set, actually it's not a bundle, it's a stamp set, is the Lifelong Friend stamp set. This is a bit different for me. You guys know I'm usually floral or like the dinosaurs, kind of cutesy. So this was a little bit different for me, but I had a really fun time with this. This is such a cute set. I really think this set is good for, you know, when you're going to get married and you want to have your best friend as like your, ask them to be your bridesmaid. This set is perfect. And I have a project that is perfect for that as well. All right, let's go ahead, get hands down so I can show you this. So this is the stamp set. It's called Lifelong Friends. I love the font on here. So we have, I couldn't have picked a better friend. So happy to have you in my life. Here's to lifelong friends and thinking of you, friend. And look, they are, when it says I couldn't have picked a better friend, they're picking flowers. Isn't that so cute? And then you've got a group of 3 friends here. It's so, so cute. And this is a red rubber stamp set, but it's still, it's a great stamp set, guys. All right, let's get into our first project. This is a very, very simple card for me. Very simple card for me. Look at that. I know some of you simple card people will love this card. Isn't it beautiful? We've got the gorgeous grape in the back. This is the Thoughtful Journey DSP. Isn't it so pretty? And then we do have my favorite, the brushed brass butterflies. All right, let's get into it. Let me show you how I made this. All right. When we do have our inside decorated with the flowers from the stamp set as well. So cute. All right, so I started with a piece of gorgeous grape cardstock. I'm going to burnish it, and for our first layer, we are, yeah, simple and love it. Yeah, Jen, I know a lot of people love simple, so this is a perfect card. But you guys know I love to make it, I just love to play around and add all kinds of elements. But this was actually the first card that I made with this stamp set, and I actually really, I love this. It's simple, but it's beautiful. All right, so we have our gorgeous grape, and then we have a piece of our basic white, and then I used the Thoughtful Journey paper, and I used this page right here. Isn't that beautiful? I love this Thoughtful Journey paper. I've used this with a lot of different stamp sets and bundles. All right, so all I did was we're gonna see if my glue is gonna work. Today I've been having trouble with it, and I actually took the lid off earlier, like the tip here, and got a big glob of dried glue. So let's see if my glue continues to work, because it's been giving me problems. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down to the basic white, just like this. And I love green glue, the liquid glue, because it gives me time to move it around, so I can get it placed exactly where I want it. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, I just love it. So pretty. All right, next we are going to put on some dimensionals, and let me grab a brand new pack. I just ran out of the larger ones, and I'm just going to pop this up on the card front, just to give it a little bit of extra dimension. It's so pretty when you pop things up, don't you think? I love to, and guys, look, I'm leaving my glue open, and here I am telling you I'm just digging a glob out of it. I like to leave my glue open, and that's my problem. All right, so we're going to take our paper here, and I am just going to center it here. Here we go. Isn't that beautiful? I love the gorgeous grape as the border here. And I do have some ratty edges. I just changed my blade on my trimmer. I couldn't find what I did with my blades, but I finally found it after I cut for it. All right, so I stamped the, let's see, where did my stamp set go? I stamped for this one, the girls that are walking. And for this, I just use my, trying to grab it here. Here it is, my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. This is good for when you are going to be using your alcohol blends. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, for anybody that is brand new and hasn't stamped. So I'm just going to take my stamp out, I'm going to flip it over, and then stick my clear block on. And that's going to attach my red rubber there. I'm going to move this out of the way. And the way that I did these stamps here, at least this stamp and the 3 people, friends, I laid it flat down just like this, and I took my Memento ink, and you can see this way is open, but what I'm actually going to do is flip it upside down, and I'm going to tap down onto my stamp just until I get everything inked up. Let me put the lid back on here before I put my arm in it. And you can see here, it's all inked up. And so you just flip it over and then press down, hold it for a second, and then pull it up, and you have your image. Isn't it so pretty? And the way that Stampin' Up! Does it, they give you these extra lines, like in her dress and kind of like on their legs, to help you with the shading of your coloring. So let's put it on here. This is how I chose to color. I used the skin tone blends for the skin and for the hair. And I used, let's see, boho blue. This one is a petunia pop. That yellow is daffodil delight. And granny apple green is the green. And hi Amy, how are you doing? Amy with an I. And this is summer splash here. I love these two colors together. Aren't they so pretty? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these ladies over, and I'm going to pop them up as well. I'm going to have them give them a little bit of extra dimension, and I'm going to cut a smaller one for her head because it's a little bit smaller than my big dimensionals here. Whoops. And I always find when I start a new pack of dimensionals, they stick together for a little while. Try to pull all of them up. All right, and then let's cut 2 more for their legs. I did find that if you pop them up, you do want to be sure to get their legs popped up, because they will pull off the card when you go to put it in the envelope. I had that happen. So I went back and added little itty bitty. And you can use your minis as well, but the minis I still had to cut. Whoops. All right. So, which one's open? This one. I'm going to go ahead and grab my little bowl here so I don't have these all over the place like usual. Oh, that one's still on. Whoops. So how was your day? Did anybody do anything fun besides work? That was pretty much my day. I worked. I did go pick up my groceries this morning. So that was fun. And they got I sent them a thank you card in the mail that I made, especially for them. And the manager was the one that came out, and I'm just going to stick them down. I just want her head to kind of be in this area here where the sky is. But the manager was the one that came out today. She was training somebody, and she recognized my name, and she's like, oh, I loved your card. And I used our, which one was it? The shopping, Attention Shoppers bundle with that. Isn't that beautiful? And see how they're just kind of slightly popped up? It gives it a little bit of extra dimension there. I love it. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to put our sentiment here. I couldn't have picked a better friend because they're picking flowers. And let's see. Yep, that's this one. I'm going to grab a smaller block here. And for this one, I used, this is Gorgeous Grape. Excuse my reach, I didn't get this one out. All right, so I'm going to take my stamp and I'm just going to lightly tap it up and down. And you want to make sure when you do this, because we're putting it on top of our DSP, our Designer Series paper, so you want to make sure you don't have any ink around the edges, because that will transfer. And I always go sideways for some reason. And I am just going to line this up. And I'm going to push it down. I'm just going to hold it for a second. I always find that the darker colors need a minute, couple seconds to really transfer. Isn't that beautiful? I love this font. I couldn't have picked a better friend. And let's go ahead. I'm going to wipe this off because I'm going to show you the stamp for the inside that I used, which is really fun. It's this, these little flowers. Aren't they cute? So for the inside piece, this one I think I used, yep, I used Petunia Pop. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to tap it very gently up and down across the stamp pad. And I'm going to stamp it down, hold it for a second. Aren't those beautiful the way that they come out? You can color them if you want, or you can leave them just like that. They're so pretty. I think this would be a great background to do across a whole background of a card. Let's see if I can get this to close without getting it on me. There we go. Sometimes these stamp pads are hard to get closed. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, if I can get hold of this, and I'm going to glue this down on the inside. Let's see. Oh, good. Whoops. That came out quick. Always use a little bit of liquid glue. A little goes a long way, right? Alright, so I'm just going to center this on the inside. There we go. Got that all flattened down. And now we get to embellish with one of my favorites, the brushed brass butterflies. Aren't they so pretty? So I have run out of these small brushed brass butterflies. It's hard to say. So I'm going to get a new sheet here and grab this is the, we have a take your pick tool that you can use, which is similar to this. I don't think I have, it's kind of like this. It's got a putty end and then a pointy end. I have a couple because I've tried them out. I have rheumatoid arthritis and my fingers sometimes don't like to keep hold of things. So I'm going to, it's this card. I'm just going to stick a couple of these around because of course we're going to have butterflies when we have flowers, right? Here we go. And that's our first card. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. If you love coloring, this stamp set is a great one for you. It's so much fun. You can do all kinds of different colors with it. Your imagination can run wild. All right, let's go to number 2. And this one, I've done a bunch of alternates because I could not decide. So this is the one I think I like the most. And this does have, if you can see, one of our window sheets. So my thought with this is they are looking out the window to the nature outside, kind of like a sunset or a sunrise, kind of. And so I did, I don't know if you can see, yep, you can see it right here, kind of the shiplap look for, what is it called, wainscoting down here. And then I have this DSP is the sweetened, I think I have it right here, Nature's Sweetness, maybe. Let's see. It is this one. Yep, Nature's Sweetness. So it's this one. It's got a whole bunch of, I think we still have it. I can't remember. Last time I paid attention, we had it. But isn't this beautiful? And some of the alternates I made, they pretty much the same, but I did different kind of like wallpaper colors. So I've got this one. This is from the Thoughtful Journey, that specialty paper. Hey Deb, how you doing? I did the same with the doing the lines here. I don't know if you can see it, kind of. And still using the Thoughtful Journey DSP back there. Let's see, and then there's this one. This has Pool Party, and this is the Country Lace, and this is also the Country Lace. So you can really mix this up with whatever color combinations, any paper that you have. You can make this work. All right. So for this card, get my ducks in a row here. All right, you can see that, right? Yep. All right, so I've got all my pieces here. So I have, this is Lost Lagoon, and I'm gonna grab my bone folder and burnish. There we go. And then I have a piece of, oh, you can see it real good right there. Pretty Peacock, and I've already scored it with the long ways going, with the long ways going up onto the trimmer, and I've done it every 1/2 inch. Okay, and then this is actually a retired DSP, but I thought it would be fun to show you how you can use up some of that retired DSP that you have. This is I kept it out because I knew I wasn't going to know the name. Splendid Day. It's this shimmery green, but the back is just beautiful. It was so perfect for like a wallpaper kind of effect. So you go ahead and use this, and if you do put in an order, you'll get this. I'll send this paper with it. So pretty much what I did was I cut the wallpaper, like the DSP paper, a little bit bigger, longer, and I think this is 2 1/4. But I'm gonna go ahead, and what I did first was the DSP. So I'm just gonna stick some glue. I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of retired designer series paper that I just can't get rid of because I love it so much. I gotta find fun ways to use it. And I think tomorrow we are going to find out some new last chance items to go on sale. All right, isn't that beautiful? I love that, so pretty. And now I'm gonna take the piece of Pretty Peacock. I'm gonna glue this as well. Put a little bit more in the middle since I have, I'm gonna go this way with it. Since I have some score lines there. There we go. I'm just gonna pick this up and push this down so that it's even. So pretty. Now I'm gonna put the, I don't know if you can tell with this one, there's a piece of basic white that goes across to kind of hide the seam. So I'm gonna glue that as well. And I left it long intentional so that I can get it exactly the length that I want. So I'm just going to kind of center it over the top of the seam. Push that down. And again, that green glue gives you that wiggle room to get it straight. There we go. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? So cute. So I'm just going to flip this over and take my paper snips and snip that right off. And so now it's completely flush with the side. All right. Next, what I did, I have, I cut out with the Everyday Arches, one of my favorite die sets of all time. I used these two, whoops, if I can get it out, these two dies. And this is the, let's go from the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th and the 6th from the outside, those two. And what I did was I already went ahead and put this is 2 pieces. So we've got our border here, which is the basic white, and then we also have our piece of the window sheet. So what I did was I took a piece of basic white. I can kind of show you the sandwich here. And what I did was I put the bigger size of the everyday arch in there, and then I put the next size down in there. I got it as even as I could on all the way around. If you can see, it does have a little bit of a gap on the inside. So I just got it as best I could where it was even all the way around. I used a piece of this green, I think it's called mint tape. It's kind of like Post-it note tape. It sticks, but it's like a Post-it note. It's not going to leave a sticky residue. So I put a piece of that on it, and then I ran it through the cut and emboss machine, and it came out with this piece right here. It cut it out into a little frame. Then what I did was I took the larger of the two with a window sheet, and I stuck it down on top of the window sheet, ran it through the stamp and the cut emboss machine to get this piece here. And then I ran my piece of DSP also through that larger of the two to get the background piece that's going to go behind it. Okay? Sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple once you have done it once or twice. Alright, so when I got I put this on not remembering that I wanted to keep it off. But I actually used Stampin Seal. I got out my silicone mat and I used my Stampin Seal. I'll show you how I did it. That's like the tape runner, and I just took it and I did just tiny little spots all the way around on the white piece, the cardstock part. Then I kept it down and I set the window sheet from the back, lining it up from the back down, and then pushing it. If you try to go from the front and put it down, it's a little bit harder to get it to be straight for some reason. At least it was for me. Alright, so that gets you to this point, and I've got it all yucky now. It's okay. And, let's see, I got glue on it somehow. Alright, so from here, what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see within here, there are little butterflies on the inside here. So what I thought I would do with this one, because it looks more of like a water type scene, I thought I would switch it up and I would do dragonflies, because these are my other favorite. If you follow me at all, you know I love these so much. Any of these brushed brass ones, I love them. So I'm just going to grab these and kind of stick them all around. See, let's put this one going this way. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. And it gives that little bit of shimmer too that is always fun to have. All right. Oh, you're heading to bed early tonight, Amy with a Y? Oh, on the struggle bus. I'm sorry. Yes, definitely catch the replay. Put hashtag replay if you are watching the replay, so I can tell you thank you for watching. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the window sheet piece here, I'm going to flip it over to the back, and I'm going to take my dimensionals. These are the sides of the dimensionals, and I'm just going to cut small skinny pieces because I need little skinny pieces to be able to fit just on that frame, this frame portion here. And I actually found it was much easier to place them with like the take your pick tool. So I just pick it up and set it down on there. And if you set it, once you set it there, if you flip it over, as long as you don't see it, you're good. So we're going to stick a couple of these around. And you can put however many that you want. And for this, since it's not going to be a shaker card, it doesn't have to be all the way around. I do have some videos on shaker cards. If you want to go take a peek in my description, I have my playlists linked down there. You can check that out and continue to follow, because I always do all kinds of different things all the time. So shaker card might be in the next couple weeks. Who knows? All right. So I'm just kind of putting these every little bit just to make sure it's going to pop up and it's not going to sink. Because with that window sheet, I feel like it makes it a little bit more substantial than if it was just the basic white frame. All right, and those are too thick. Sometimes I cut them a little too thick. Let's see, those are kind of thick too. All right, let's put this one here. And there we go. Make sure, yep, I don't see any of them poking through. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my DSP here, and this is going to go onto here. So I'm going to grab my bowl here again, and I'm just going to take the backings off of all these little pieces of the dimensionals. Let's see. Yep, I got that one. Sometimes it's hard to tell with these little ones if you've gotten them off or not. There we go. Yep, okay, starting over. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it with the sticky part of the dimensionals up. And I'm going to take my piece of DSP, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to line it up this way. The two bottom corners here with the two bottom corners down here. And then I'm just going to gently lay it down. And I'm going to pick it up and make sure. Yep. See, we've got it flush going around, which is what we want. So then you can go through and kind of push them down a little bit. And there we have our little window for our friends. Isn't that so pretty? I love it with the dragonflies on this one. It's so pretty. All right. Now we've got our card base going, and we now have our window. So to attach my window to the card itself, I flipped it to the back and I put some green glue. And I do recommend for this using the liquid glue because you're going to want to move it. I could not stick it straight for the life of me, or even to the sides. It's easier if you're able to kind of move it around and center it. So I do think the green glue is a good for this. Isn't that so pretty? You could leave it just like that. You know what would be cool with this too? To do like a, oh, I might do that. Maybe I shouldn't give you that as a, I could do this as a bookcase and do the book. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back to the book bundle, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this into a bookcase. Spoiler alert, that's going to be coming up soon, because that would be so cool. All right, so we have this stuck down here. I'm going to take our friends here, and this is the smaller of the 2 stamps of the friends. So this is the 3 friends here. And I did the same thing. I stamped them and then I cut them out. There is no die set for this, so I did fussy cut these. And I was a little bit extra, and I fussy cut like right up to the edge of them, if you can see. Because I just had to do that. In my head, I just had to do that. So, I did Pretty in Pink here. This is Berry Burst. I love Berry Burst on this this shirt that she has here. It's so pretty with the little like puffy sleeves. This is no, this is not Shush. This is Summer Splash, and then Boho Blue, and I'm pretty sure that is Fresh Freesia, the lighter Fresh Freesia. So pretty. And this is Boho Blue. This is Balmy Blue. That's the difference. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on them. Let's see. I have to cut some for her head too. And I don't want to put any dimensionals further down here, because they're going to stop right here, and we're going to have our sentiment kind of, whoops, cover up that drop of their backs right there. So we don't want to put any dimensionals here, because we don't want it to pop it up even more on the window part right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple more of these small for 2 of their heads here. Stick it on her and her. There we go. And let's do one here. How's that gonna go? Let's see. Yep, I want one smaller one over here. Like right there. All right. Now, I'm going to take these backings off. Have you guys worked with window sheets before? We do sell them. I have them in my online store. They're actually really fun to play around with. I will say, make sure your sandwich is correct on your, when you're putting it through your Stampin' Cut machine. I'm just going to line them up so that her hand here is just below the edge of the frame. That's stuck. But make sure that you have it tight when you run it through. And if not, run it through a couple of times to make sure that it cuts out that window sheet, because it is kind of like plastic, so it's not quite as easy as the DSP is to go through. All right, for the sentiment on this one, I looked high and low because I needed something this size, and I found this die in the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. It is, I did have the dies for these. Here they are. So it's this die right here. There's a big one and a small one, and I used the larger one. So that's where this die came from. And for this one, I think I'm going to actually use, this one. This is Fresh Freesia. I'm going to close my glue like I should. All right, and then I'm going to stamp "Here's to Lifelong Friends" on here. So I've got to grab my block here. I'm going to stick this down here. Let's see. "Here's to Lifelong Friends" is this one. I'm actually going to stick this down. You guys have it wherever if you use your stamps and you put it on yourself, it gets a bubble. I always find it's much better for me to attach it when it's sitting down. All right, so I think for this, I'm going to use Pretty Peacock. A Pretty Peacock ink here. And I'm just going to lightly tap, tap, tap across the ink pad here. Making sure I didn't get any on the edges. And I'm just going to line the middle of this up with the middle of the the sentiment strip here. Hopefully it's going to be straight. It's always hard to stamp on lives. All right. Ooh, that's so pretty. I love this font so much. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this font. It's so pretty. I like that it's very thin. I don't think we have very many that are thin like this. All right, so for this one, I want to make sure that it's dried because I smudged one earlier. Let's see, I'm going to cut a couple of these. For this, you want to make sure also that it is not too far up. The dimensionals are not too far up because it'll hit here. And what we want it to do is be flush against the back of the friends and the edge of the window. And we want the dimensionals to touch the Pretty Peacock down here. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to put these along the bottom edge, and I don't remember where I heard this, but when you put more than one dimensional on top of each other, it's called double decker. So I'm going to double decker this, put 2 dimensionals on top of these, or 1 extra, so it's going to be 2 dimensional high, 2, 3. And I'm doing this so that it is going to be flush. I'm not sure if you can tell on this one. Probably not. Maybe if I go, yeah, if I go this way, this one, it only has 1 dimensional under here, so it's not completely flush. It is at an angle, which is fine. I just liked it better once I was doing a second set of these. I liked it better with it flush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge here and I'm going to stick it underneath her hand. You can see that. And I'm going to wedge it under there. And then I'm going to make sure to cover any of the part that I didn't color down here. I'm going to make sure that I'm covering that up. And I'm going to center this. I think that's right. There we go. Just like that. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, I love the fresh freesia there. So pretty. All right, now we can add some embellishments. And look at that, I didn't use my bowl. So now I have them all over the place. All right, so for this one, I used the Pretty Peacock and I think this is Petal Pink. What are these called? I got it. Petal Pink and Pretty Peacock foiled gems. So they're these. And I used the Peacock. So that's the ones I'm going to use here. So I'm going to do one of the large. Let's go here with the large one. And then I'll grab a small one. Let's go, where do I want it? I'll put it here. And then our third, let's see, let's put it here. It's a little bit hard to get it on there. There we go. And that is card number 2. Isn't that beautiful? I love it with the window there. I just think it gives it a little bit something fun with it. Looking out and enjoying the outdoors with your friends on a girls' weekend. So cute. So you can do it however, whatever DSP you have that you like, you can change it up. Which is what I love about this stamp set. You can do pretty much anything. All right. This is our final project, and I think this is so stinking cute. I think this would be good for if you are going to be getting married and you want to ask your best friend to be in your wedding. I think this would be perfect. You could put the little note or whatever inside, and inside I couldn't have picked a better friend. Isn't that so pretty? And out here is here's to lifelong friends. And the little flip, it just slides right underneath her dress right there. I'm going to show you how I made sure that it wasn't going to tear her up there. All right, so for this, let me, because I'm about to get this ink all over me, I'm going to wipe this off on my chamois. I am going to need it again, so I'll leave it on the block. I don't want to stick my hand in it. All right, so here are our pieces. And I decided to use a different piece of paper, DSP. It's the same delightful, delightfully floral, right? I have it right here. Delightful, Floral Delight. The Floral Delight paper. So this is one of the pieces of from that DSP set, and this is another. So we're going to use this one for this because I wanted to see how it looked with a different piece of paper. That's usually how I get myself in trouble by having 10 of the same thing, is because I want to try it with different colors and different papers. All right. Now the thing with these book boxes that you want to make sure before you even start with anything, you want to make sure you know how it's going to close, because I have done this multiple times. So you want to make sure it's going to close this way. So you want to know that your flap to close is on the correct side, so that when you put your DSP, especially if it's directional, you know where your flap is going to go. So I'm going to flip this so that I know my flap needs to be on this side. And how I did this different than how I've done my book box demonstrations before. I did this as one full piece because I thought that would be really fun to try, and it worked. It looks really good. Just one solid piece. So how I did this, I started on this side, and no, I didn't. I started on this side because I want it flush on this side, and if anything is over, I can cut it off easier on that side. So I'm going to put some liquid glue. I'm going to put a decent amount, but I'm going to put it in a very thin layer. And I'm going to go up to that first score line here. You see that it has score lines here. This is the spine of the book. I'm only going to go up to the spine. I'm not going to go over yet, because I want to do this in phases. So I want to make sure it's going to stick where I want it to stick and not where I don't want it to stick. So since mine is not directional, I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down. I'm going to do it as flush as I can. I want it flush on the sides and this front here. And again, that green glue gives you, gives you that wiggle room to be able to move it around. All right. Make sure that's down. All right, so now we've got up to our score line here. So what I want to do is I want to pull this back just a touch, just so that you can see where your spine is here. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the green glue. Remember, not a lot, just a thin layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up like this. I want to make sure that it's going to stick, and then I want to make sure that I fold it on that crease while it's still wet. Okay, because we want to make sure that it's going to stick in that crease, and we also want to make sure that we're giving the paper enough room to, if it needs to go out this way, it can, instead of tearing here because it doesn't have room to move. With that green glue, it gives it that time. All right, and I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to do it on the front here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the green glue. There we go. And do the same thing. I'm going to push it down. Make sure all those bubbles are out. I'm going to pick it up. Where's my crease? There it is. So I'm going to crease that. Just like that. Okay? You just want to make sure that you crease it with it still wet so that it, if it needs to slide, it can. Because once it dries, it'll rip it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. I'm just going to move it a little bit, make sure it's good to go. All right. Now, this is why I went flush here. And I personally always leave a little bit extra. I don't know if you can see that or not. On the edge, because I like it to be pretty snug, and if I cut it exact, it never fails. I cut it too short. So I like to cut it a little bit longer, and then I can just use my paper snips and cut it to the exact spot that I need it. And I also have, because these are rounded corners, so I'm going to cut these whatever, pointed corners, I guess, off of this side over here. There we go. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? I love this. I love this paper already on here. See, they're going to look so fun off of there. Woo, I love it. All right. Next, what I'm going to do, this goes in here. I think it was this piece. Yep, this piece goes on to our flap here, and that is so that it kind of blends in. So you're not going to necessarily, it's not going to stand out when it's underneath her. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue up to the score line, because these book boxes are already scored for you. It's the score line right there. So I'm just putting the glue up to that score line. And I'm going to take my piece of designer series paper. I'm going to get it as flush as I can to the side of this DSP here, and push it down. I'm going to make sure I got it flush on the two sides. Here we go. Then we'll do the same thing we did earlier, because we have our crease, so we definitely want to make sure we get a nice crease here. So I'm going to push this down, pick it up, and gently fold that crease. Just like that. So then when it closes, whoops, it kind of blends in a little bit as opposed to standing out. All right, and this one I cut a little bit longer as well. So I'm just going to trim that off. I would always rather have to trim a little than have to recut my paper. Let's see. Snip this off. There we go. All right, so we've got the outer part. Yeah, it goes this way. What's that? We've got our outer part of our book done. Now we want to work on our inside. So I cut a piece of the Designer Series paper, the same one, to fit on the inside here. And my tip for this is measure it from score line to score line on either way. Before you put the box together where you're gonna put the sides up, make sure that your paper is going to fit in there without bowing like this. You don't want it to bow at all. So you can score it, I mean not score it, cut it a 1/16 of an inch smaller, or you can cut it kind of exactly from score line to score line, and then just trim off a little bit if you need it. Because I've found they're a little bit, sometimes they're a little bit different in size, which is normal with paper. So I'm going to take my green glue, put a little bit of glue here. Then I'm just going to stick this down. There we go. And I'm going to move this stuff out of my way. And the fun thing about this, it already has the adhesive strips for you to put this together. So to put this box part together, you're going to fold the pieces on each side here, these little kind of like tiny rectangle pieces. Then you're going to move it. Nope, you're going to do it this way. So you're going to fold them in this way. And I'm going to take this piece off of the glue strip, and I'm going to use my thumbs to pull it up, keeping these flush. Whoops, that's hard to do. There we go. Keeping them flush to the sides here. Okay, and then you just want to push them down, and then push the back part here up, straight up against it, and then push it straight down, and it'll adhere with that strip. So you see how it gives it a nice crisp side. Whoops. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put these in, pull this up, I'm gonna push in and down so that I get it real tight. There we go. Make sure those are gonna stick. Perfect, isn't that cute? Now we can attach it. So these have adhesive strips as well. I'm gonna take these guys off. Now for this, how I do this, I put the bottom edge onto this second, see if I can get it so it can show you without it. There we go. So you see the spine, we have the top, let's go this way. You have this top score line and this bottom score line. I want to put it at the bottom score line. So I'm going to take this bottom edge here and put it in the crevice of that bottom score line, but I'm going to put it at an angle. Get a hold of it the right way. I want to make sure that it is even on either side here. So I'm going to eyeball it with it up kind of like this, because I don't want it to stick yet. I want to make sure I get it exactly where I want it. So I'm going to put it right on that score line. I'm going to make sure it is even. Then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to push it down. And then I'm going to make sure that I get a good seal. Just like that. Now it's attached. Isn't that fun? This also has a strip here. I wasn't using it for this one, but you can definitely use that strip for your design. Isn't that pretty? I love this paper. All right. Now, I've already gone ahead and made the cut out the girls. I stamped them, colored them, and cut them out. So the back of them, when they're colored, you can kind of see through it. It is still mostly flimsy, which is fine, but I wanted to reinforce it since, let me grab my piece here I'm going to use, since we're going to be tucking this underneath her, I want her to be a little bit more reinforced. So what I did, I'm going to have it down like this. I'm going to put her where I want her to be. She's going to be right about there. So I want to make sure that I'm going to glue this part here in this section of her right there. Now you can do this before you cut it out. I didn't do it before I cut it out because I didn't realize it. It was an after the fact kind of thing that I was like, oh hey, she needs to be reinforced because she's going to tear. And I didn't want that to happen. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. I'm going to take my basic white and I'm just going to stick it down. And this is strictly to give her some reinforcement. If you're just going to put this on and not put this underneath her, then you won't need to do this. Alright, I'm going to flip this up and cut it from her. I don't want to have to cut around her neck again. Alright, and then let's cut here so I don't have to cut. There we go. That's just so I don't have to cut around her neck because, ooh, that's a little challenging sometimes. So I have her, let's see, it didn't go all the way to her feet. Let's just put it on her feet too. Oops, that's a lot. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to fussy cut it out. And a little trick for you, if you fussy cut and you have you're fussy cutting close like I am with this, if you still have a little bit of your basic white color showing through, you can grab your whatever color alcohol marker that you used and you can just do a little touch up on that space and it'll blend right in. That's what I did with her hair, because it has little curlies coming around, which is beautiful, but not so fun to have to cut around. Alright. And thankfully this paper as well, this DSP, it does kind of blend in if you have a little bit of this extra white on it. I'm not sure about this yellow, but it did with this one. It blended in really good. Alright, then I just need to, glue is still a little bit tacky. Alright, there we go. Will we see? We will. So I'm just going to cut this a little bit closer. So it's got a little bit of the white left and I don't want to get up and get my alcohol marker. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so she is, I'll get that piece off. She is now reinforced. So she, let's go this way. She doesn't bend as easily. which is what we want, because we want her to be able to hold this piece down. Had I been smart, I would have done it before I colored and cut, but I wasn't smart on this one. All right, so I'm going to take some of my dimensionals. I'm going to see if I can fit these on her head. Another small one here down on her feet. And we want to make sure that within here where we reinforced it, we do not want to put any dimensionals there. Stick this one on her head there, and then I can get my larger dimensionals. Oops. Stick these. Did I get that? Nope, that's good. All right. And one here. I do need one right there. Definitely want to make sure their feet are adhered down. So let's see. There we go. All right, I'm going to stick this up if I can get it. I'm going to test it out, and I'm going to see. That's good. That'll work. Okay, so now I still have this little piece in here. There we go. Now I'm going to take these dimensional backings off. Oh, that one is off. And I think that's all of them. Yep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close this and close my flap. And then I'm going to align them where I want them. And for me, I just made sure that I cannot see this strip on the other side of her dress. Pull it up just a little. And then I am just going to push down. And this part right here is kind of flipping up a little bit. So I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to grab a smaller dimensional. I'm going to stick it on my finger and take off the backing. I'm going to hold it this way and just kind of flip it back a little bit and stick that dimensional down. There we go. And now that's solid. That's not going anywhere. See? So cute, right? I like it on this more yellow paper. It is different, but it's so pretty. So pretty. All right, so I cut out lemon lolly and white because I didn't know. I think I like the white on here. I didn't know which color would look good. Sorry about that. There's a dog walking, and that was my dog Winston. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the white, the basic white, and this is the Stylish Shapes dies. And this is the smallest of the banner dies that are in there. So for this one, we're going to do Here's to Lifelong Friends. So I've got that right here. And for this, I did it in Early Espresso. But you know what? We don't have Early Espresso on this one. So let's do Old Olive, because Old Olive is on there. Because here we have the Early Espresso in the stems, but I don't have it over here, so it might look kind of silly. All right, so I've got my Old Olive, and I'm just going to try to flatten this thing out again, because it's curled, and it's, I don't know if you guys have problems when it curls, it I mess up. I get a splotch. Alright, I'm going to tap real easy. Make sure I don't have it on my edges. And then I'm just going to line it up. Stamp it down and hold it. Ooh, that's pretty. That worked great. Isn't that pretty? That's really pretty in Yeah, I like it in the old olive. And also we need to stamp our inside piece. And I did lemon lolly, or do we want white? I think I want white. Yeah. So let me find my chamois. I'm gonna clean this one off. And we're going to grab the, I couldn't have picked a better friend. Put that on my block. And do the same thing. Tap, tap, tap. And make sure, hope I did get some on there. Alright, and I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. Hold that down for a second. Ooh, that's pretty. Alright, close that up before I make a mess. And I'm going to let that sit for a second. I'm going to close this guy up. For this, I pretty much put it where they kind of are walking on top of it. I thought that looked kind of cute. So, I think this one's probably dry. So I'm going to stick 3 dimensionals, one on either side, and then one in the middle. There we go. Take these off. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm just going to take it and kind of slip it under their feet a little bit so that it looks like they're walking on it. I want to make sure that it's centered. That looks pretty. Come up, I'm not committing yet. I don't want to commit, come up. There we go. All right. These are sticky, very sticky. All right, so I think right, there we go. Right there. Those are really sticky dimensionals. Isn't that cute? They're just kind of like walking on it, like, here's to lifelong friends, we're picking our flowers. So cute. I think it's cute. All right. Then for our inside here, I'm just going to use some of my green glue, which I left open. Probably going to have another glob in there tomorrow. All right. And I just got glue on me. And I'm just going to take this. And I do recommend green glue for this as well, so that you have time to move it around if it's not centered, which I did that pretty good the first time. All right, top to my glue. All right, isn't that cute? Like a little surprise on the inside. All right, now all we've got to do is embellish. So I'm going to grab my butterflies again, and let's use the big ones. Let's use these. And I'm just gonna float these guys around. So we're gonna put one up here. We gotta have butterflies, right, with their flowers, picking flowers. Butterflies like flowers. All right, let's go. We'll go like this. Oh, that's so cute. And that is our final project. Isn't that adorable? Oh, I love it. It would be so fun for to give it a gift to a friend. So cute. I immediately thought though of when you ask like your bridesmaid or friends or whatever to be a bridesmaid in your wedding or to be in your wedding. I immediately thought of that. So cute. All right, so let's see what we made today. We've made those, and find the first one, this one right here. What do you guys think of this stamp set? Isn't it beautiful? It's definitely not, it's not a stamp set that I would have picked for myself, but I really, really like it. It gives you a lot of different options and ways to work with it. And it's so much fun. You can use all kinds of different colors, all kinds of different papers. The possibilities are endless, I think. But I do think my favorite is probably the book box. And stay tuned for me to make this into a bookcase, because I'm going to do it. You guys know me. You know I'm going to do it. All right. Put in the comments which one is your favorite. And oh, you would like to see the color part of it too? Okay. I can incorporate that in another video. I pretty much, I just used the one color on these. I actually didn't really use the double colors, the darker color or the lighter. But I can do a tutorial on that too for you. All right, so my next live is going to be next Monday, which is April 7th at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to be working with the new Turtley Cute bundle. I'm pretty sure it's called Turtley Cute. I should be getting it in the mail maybe tomorrow, so I'm so excited to play with that. It's going to be so much fun, and it's so darn cute. So definitely put that on your calendar. Make sure that you follow me on my socials. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube, and you have the bell hit for the notifications so that you are notified anytime that I go live. Also, don't forget, I have my YouTube goal that I'm working towards. And for one lucky person, if I reach my goal, somebody will win a Created by Cassie box. So help me reach my goal. I would love to reach it and be able to spoil one of you. All right, and if you enjoyed the video today, please put this emoji down in the comments so that I can say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate when you guys do that. And thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me today. I had so much fun creating cards with these bundles and sharing it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I will see you guys back here next Monday for a brand new video. Bye.